I welcome everyone to Tolentino Teaching. Today, I just wanted to show you what I do for the first week of school. Maybe give you some ideas of things that you could do as well. So I'll show you exactly what I do for most of my classes, not all of them. For example, my AP language class, we do something a little different. But for middle schoolers, many high schoolers, I do this. So let me share my screen. All right, so it's pretty simple. Day one, I always start with the first day of school survey, and it comes with a worksheet. The purpose of the survey is to get to know students. What are they interested in? What do I need to be aware of when it comes to work or babysitting or stuff like that? I'll show you what I give them. So I give them the video and the worksheet. Let me play that real quick.
Buying a car can be an emotional ride. Get peace of mind with our CarMax 30-day money-back guarantee, giving you time to ensure you've made the right choice. CarMax, car buying reimagined. See Minions, the rise of blue, only at Peters, PG.
All right. For the following activity, you will answer. So what I do is I typically tell the students, hey, we're going to do a survey. And I pass out the worksheet. And then I also project the same questions and another explanation via this video. And this is the exact video I use. All the resources that I use, the videos and the worksheets, I will include in the description. So if you see something that you like, go ahead, use it. So here's the survey I give them. Student information survey. Please keep the answers to these questions to yourself. The purpose of this activity is for your teacher to get to know you better. What are your interests? What are your aspirations? What are your obligations at home? This is your opportunity to explain your situation. If you have many obligations after school, this is important for your teacher to know when it comes to giving homework. If you love playing video games, this could be important when having class debates. So please answer the following questions to the best of your ability. Let's begin. What I do is I project this on the board so everyone can see it. I'll read it. And then the students also have the worksheet version of this in front of them. So they can read it in front of them and they can also see this projected on the board. And once again, the purpose of this is just to gather information about the students. I keep all the sheets they turn in. I read through all of them and it just gives me background information on the students. So living situation, do they have internet? That is important. I've had students with a really difficult environment for studying. So that's something I need to be aware of. What responsibilities do you have? So if students work from 4 to 10 p.m. every weekday, I need to know that because then I'll cut a deal with them when it comes to homework. Or we'll try to be more efficient during our class time. Or if they're just crazy tired, I know why. Okay, and we'll work something out. It's just good for me to know their situation. Interest out of school is important, especially if they like football. And I'll talk to them about football and make fun of their team. Okay, I want to know what their favorite music, favorite books, favorite movies, TV shows, and favorite video games. I've added the video game feature recently because there are so many gamers. And I don't know a ton about gaming. My students teach me about it, but a lot of kids love video games. Okay, and then the last part of the survey, I get to hear about their aspirations. What are they considering for career or college? Really good to know. Some kids are like, I ain't going to college. And then you're like, hey, that's fine. You still have time. You sometimes figure things out. What things should I do to help you out? Okay. Yep. So, and also students, I need to know how I can help students out. And students can be very insightful with this one. Explain things better. Don't do this, don't do that. It's pretty funny. And what else should I? Okay, so I give them this video. They have the worksheet. I always do this on day one. Okay. And then let me see. We'll go back to that sheet. Give me a second. Still getting used to this. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. My bad. Okay. And then the next activity, let me share it again. All right, back here. So the next activity I do, I either do 2 truths and a lie, and I get it. A lot of students have done 2 truths and a lie. It's a gem. I mean, if you don't have something to do on the first day, you can't go wrong with 2 truths and a lie. In fact, when students walk into my classroom day 1, I like having 2 truths and a lie about me written on the board and they guess. So if you need something for day 1, 2 truths and a lie, I think it always works out. But I have another activity that I've started using that I really like. It's, are you a liar or a truth teller? Now, some people don't want their students to be lying and tricky. I don't know. I like these activities. That's just me. You don't have to use them. I like these lying activities. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. So are you a liar or a truth teller? I love this activity. So what I do is, with this activity, I choose whether the students are a liar or a truth teller. Okay. And I can change the ratio however I want it. So I can make everyone in the class a liar. I can make everyone a truth teller. I have found that right around 50-50 tends to be the best. Last year, I did about 75-80% of the class as liars. And it didn't work out as well. I feel like students don't, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe their lies aren't as good as their actual stories. So students, I give them a sheet of paper that tells them either if they're a truth teller or a liar, okay? And then they have to write a story from their life. If they get truth, they have to write a story from their life that is true. And if they get a lie, they have to write a story that it sounds like it could be from their life, but is a lie, okay? The story, and then when they're done with their story, I read them. I tell the name of the student. The class has to guess, is the student lying or truth telling? So let me show you the video for that. I really like this activity. If you're not into your students lying, it's probably not.
I didn't think I had time for a master's, but with WGU, I can move to an accredited business degree as soon as I master the material. An online nonprofit university that lets me fit school around my schedule, I choose WGU.
All right.
Or,
Let's go to the beginning.
hello and welcome to Catch a Liar. There are 2 kinds of people in this game, liars and truth tellers. The liars must write a story from their life that is a lie, and the truth tellers must write a story from their life that is true. The trick is for the liars to make their story sound true, and for the truth tellers to make their story sound like lies. The twist in this game, however, is that you do not get to choose whether or not you are a liar or a truth teller. Oh no, that designation is chosen by your teacher. And your teacher can choose any ratio they please when it comes to liars and truth tellers.
That's right. That's right.
They can make half the class liars and half the class truth tellers. Or they can choose 75% liars and 25% truth tellers. Or they can choose 1 liar
50-50.
for the entire class. Or if they really want to be tricky, they can make everyone liars.
I don't know. It didn't tend to work.
So step 1 is to get your role from the teacher. Are you a liar or a truth
He needs to
teller?
write this on a little sheet of paper.
Be sure that information remains top secret. Step 2 is to write your story. Step 3 is to listen to your classmates tell their stories while you wait to tell yours.
So I either have the students read their stories and the class has to guess, or I read them. I try to read the class and how they're feeling. The first day of school or the first few days, people tend to be really shy. So sometimes I read them and sometimes I have the students read them. It just depends on how I'm reading the class that day. I prefer students to read them. And then when you're trying to guess who's telling the truth or lie, then you can kind of like try to read their face while they're reading. It's fun.
Be sure you write the name of each classmate and guess, are they a liar or a truth teller?
Now, I should probably make a worksheet for this. I'll do that. But what I typically have students do is they just write everyone's, like before you tell your story, you write the person's name down. And then you have to write whether they're a liar or a truth teller. But I'll make a worksheet for this. That'll be good.
Once everyone has read their story, including you, each student will need to reveal whether or not they are a liar or a truth teller. The student with the most correct guesses is the winner. Good luck.
All right, so you get it. So I really like this activity. It's worked really well in my classes. So I recommend that. So let me go back to the sheet. All right, so that's day one. So we're gonna go to day two. What I like to do on day two. That is your screen. So day two, I used to do this on day one, but day two, I really like doing 6-word stories. I used to do 6-word stories that you wrote the story of your summer. However, I've changed. I prefer 6-word memoirs at this point, where just write a 6-word story that captures you. Who are you? Captures your life. That's been better for me. So I have students write 6-word stories that encapsulate their life. I play the video. I'm not going to play it right now. I play the video. I also give them examples, and I have that example video right here so they can get some ideas. And then students write their 6-word stories. And this activity is great because I get 100% participation because it's just 6 words. It's 6 words. I get 100% participation. And I mean, yeah, sometimes I do it in a way where you guess who wrote the 6-word story. Depends on how I'm feeling. But what I've been doing of late, when they write the 6-word story, I have them create a Google slide or Canva. Canva's big of late. A Google slide that captures their 6-word story. In the past, I would have students write their 6-word story on a paper and we put them up on the wall and it looked really cool. But now we'd use technology a little more. I have them create a Google slide. And then what I do is I make a video compilation of all their 6-word stories. And when students come into the classroom, every day, I have their 6-word stories on the board projected. And it's kind of cool. You walk into the classroom and you see everyone's work. Let me show you some examples. This is the kind of video that I play on my board when they walk in. Here's a 6-word story example.
Your kitten will grow into a cat over 3 distinct stages, and sooner than you thought, they're almost grown. But right from the start, Royal Canin's Kitten Growth Program provides the nutrients your cat needs for an ideal foundation to a healthy life.
So yeah, this is what some of my students did. I like playing this example video so students can kind of get ideas of how they can write their 6-word story. So that's what I do on day 2. Also, I like to introduce the concept of brevity, being precise with your words, because that's a theme that I carry out throughout the whole year, is decluttering your writing. I mean, there's certain times where I want students to extend their writing via reflections and to write a lot. Okay. And then there's other times where I want them to declutter their writing and edit it down. We're constantly doing that throughout the year. We're trying to really write our ideas down and capture what it is we're thinking with a lot of words. And then we try to really pinpoint the gems, right, by editing it down. So with 6-word stories, I'm introducing the idea of brevity, being precise with words. And I continue that theme for day 3. Am I sharing the screen? I'm not sharing the screen. For day 3, I do 100-word stories. So at this point, students have done an inventory, we played a game, 6-word stories, and then we do 100-word stories. And the first week, I just like to get students writing, and I progress it. So it starts with 6 words, 100 words. After that, you'll see they're gonna have to write something that's 250 words. It's not a formal essay. It's just, I want them to write, and I'm trying to get a feel of how do they write? How do their sentences flow? How is their spelling? How's their punctuation? How is their grammar? How do they tie in everything? What are their ideas like? So I'm just starting to read students. So 100-word stories I love. For 100-word story, students have to write, I do it as creative nonfiction. So you write a story about something that's happened to you or something funny. Students tend to pick something that's silly, and you write it in 100 words. And 100 words isn't very many words. So once again, students are getting used to this concept of brevity and being precise with their words. I'll show you the video that I show them right here. We'll take a look at that.
Sure feels good when you get it right. And with Philips Sonicare technology, it's easy to always get brushing right. Philips.
The 4 basic premises of writing, says William Zinsser, are clarity, brevity, simplicity, and humanity. Writing 100-word stories tests your ability to incorporate all of these. Your task is to entertain your reader with a story that tickles their senses, triggers a chuckle, or teaches a lesson. You are on a word budget, and your boss demands a quality story for your clients. Be frugal with words. Use verbs that pop. Keep things exciting, but simple. Developing the skill to use the right word at the right time is the key to writing well. And similar to these instructions given, use exactly 100 words.
Instructions I gave were exactly 100 words.
Here is an example of a 100-word story. It's called The Beast. I heard the...
All right, so here's, I give them an example story. This is a story, this actually happened to me. So I give them a kind of a funny example to base theirs on.
After opening the glass sliding door. Now it looked at me from across the pool, eyes glowing in the darkness. Yesterday's headline on TV heeded a warning: mountain lion prowling neighborhoods. Beware. I yelled at the beast, get out. It purred and effortlessly leapt on our 6-foot wall. I sprinted to the bedroom, woke up my wife. There's a mountain lion in the yard. We ran to the glass sliding door and peered outside. There it stood, a large house cat sitting on our wall, looking its feet.
All right, so yeah, that's my example of 100-word story. That actually happened. I thought there was a mountain lion in our yard. It was all over the news. I woke up my wife at like 3 a.m. She went to go look at the mountain lion, and there was no mountain lion. There was just a house cat. So she was not pleased. But anyways, that's my story. It's funny now. I think it's funny. Anyways, it's funny now. So that's my 100-word story example. So I have students write their 100 words. And then once again, what I like to do is, let me go back to the sheet. What I like to do is I have students create a Google slide with their 100-word story. And I can show examples of that. Give me 1 second. So day 300-word stories. Here's some examples. So I have students create a slide on either Google Slides or Canva. This is what it looks like. At this point, I really get this. It's really interesting what students write. And this year, it looks like, well, I mean, sometimes I do creative nonfiction. Sometimes I do whatever you want. You could make it up. You can do a scary story. But the ideas are awesome. Ideas are awesome. I love it. Okay, here's some nonfiction. So, oh wow. So yeah, now that I look at it, it's probably best to give them the choice. They can either do creative nonfiction or create their own story. But when they're done, I like having them create this Google slide. I compile them, and once again, like the 6-word stories, I create a video like this one, where students come into the class and they can see their work projected on the screen. You don't have to do that. In years past, I'd have students write it down on a sheet of paper. We'd put it on the wall. I don't know. Some teachers are really clever with stuff like this. I'm not as much. You can do whatever you want. So let me go on to the next part. All right, so after 100-word stories, so far we've done reading inventory, 6-word stories, 100-word stories. We've also done a game. So then we move on to show off your knowledge. I love this activity. It kind of puts the ball in the students' court when it comes to what they're writing about. I want students to write 250 words or more on a topic that they know a lot about. I'll show you the video that I give them. These tend to be excellent. If students say, hey, I'm not an expert on anything, that's a lie. I guarantee you there's something they know a lot about.
So this is your chance to be a show-off. That's right, a show-off. Normally, it is not encouraged to show off or brag or boast about all the things you know. Today is different, though. Your mission is to write about a topic you know a lot about. I mean, a lot. Perhaps you know everything about the Mexican soccer team. You know each player and where they're from and what their strengths and weaknesses are. Or maybe you have a passion for makeup and you spend hours and hours watching tutorials. We all have things we obsess over and have passions about. And now is your chance to display your knowledge on something that interests you. In 250 words or more, show off your knowledge on a topic of your choice.
So at this point, 250 words for a lot of students, at least my students, they find 250 words intimidating. It's a lot. And that's fine. I want the purpose of this is for students to write extensively on a topic, and 250 words really isn't that bad. But this is the first writing sample I get from students that really, I start figuring out what kind of writer they are, what kind of ideas they come with, how do they structure their sentences, what kind of work do they need. This is where I really start to see that.
If Minecraft is your thing, then write about the nuances of Minecraft. If you love playing fantasy football, then write about your game plan when it comes to fantasy football. The purpose of this activity is to get you writing extensively on something you like. It is when you are writing about something that you like where ideas really shine. So once again, in 250 words or more, show off your knowledge on a topic of your choice. Good luck.
All right, so I love that activity. So at this point, students have written 6 words, 100 words, and now 250 words. So then I actually build upon this for the next day, and I'll show you how I do that. And that usually incorporates the week. So for the next activity, so learn from a classmate. So last day of the week, students are they're going to start collaborating. So everything they've done individually so far, at least for the most part, now they're going to collaborate. So you can take that same thing that they wrote about or showing off their knowledge, Okay, and they're going to teach a classmate something. So I'll show you the video explanation that I give students. Once again, all these sources are in the description box. I'll include them.
So you've been hearing a lot about Freedom Boat Club, and you're probably wondering how it works. First,
A great skill to acquire is the ability to learn from others. Believe it or not, as you sit here in this classroom, there's knowledge all around you. This is because everyone has different interests, and we all spend hours dedicated to those interests. The better you learn how to tap into other people's knowledge and humbly ask simple and clarifying questions, the better learner you will become. Think about it. The people around you have spent hours, if not hundreds of hours, pursuing hobbies and passions. And with a few questions, you can learn, in a few minutes, what others have spent years learning. Your mission for today is to ask a classmate to teach you about something they know a lot about. If they know a lot about makeup, have them teach you about makeup. If they are from Guatemala and know a lot about Guatemala, have them teach you about Guatemala.
That's awesome.
If they know a lot about the MBA, have them teach you about the MBA. Let their ideas and expertise lead the conversation while you take notes. And be sure you ask questions about the stuff you don't understand. Then, write a one-page reflection on what you learned from this person. Write about what you found interesting or surprising or strange or exciting. Did this person cause you to look at the world differently? Did you feel uncomfortable trying to learn about something new? Your reflection should capture your learning process. So find a person, get talking, and write a reflection about what you learned.
Okay, so awesome activity. I actually typically I choose the partners for students. It depends how I feel the class is. But students often, at least in my classes, they tend to choose their friends. And I like getting students a little uncomfortable when it comes to these things and to collaborate with people that they're not used to collaborating with. That's something I like to do. I guess it's up to you. But this is a great activity. You can use exactly the same topic you used to show off the class before. And you can teach someone about something. You can teach them how to do something. You can teach them information about something. The thing is, you should teach someone about something that you know a lot about. And then the person who's doing the interviewing should take notes. And then whatever they learn, they write a one-page reflection. And the reflection does not have to be very structured. It's just, how was the learning process? I learned about Minecraft. I didn't know anything about Minecraft. I found this interesting. It's still weird that this happened to my blah, 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 blah. But what did you learn from it? What surprised you? What didn't? Did this person change your perspective on something? Is this now a game that you would like to play? I don't know. Just one-page reflection on what you learned. And then you share with the other student your passion or something that you know a lot about. And that's a great way to end the week. So that there is how I do my first week for most of my classes. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. I'm going to leave all the materials that I use in the description box, so they're there for you to use. Try it out. Hope that helps.